You should not read this unless you are willing to forgive my shortcomings and thoughts, because they will not meet your expectations of who you think you know. I always thought I wanted to be a person that other people liked and counted on as a good friend. I wanted to fit in and be a part of the group. Perhaps that comes from being the youngest of 4 children, always trying to keep up with the sisters. That's still very important to me, but is it all I want? Well, of course not, but I feel I have been successful in that endeavor. I was never someone that dreamed of curing an incurable disease, longed for stardom, or felt entitled to be someone famous. I wanted to be a well-liked, respected person and friend. In reality, ever since the diagnosis of the recurrence of the melanoma, I have failed to be that person. I have become a patient every day, all day. Hospice has an ugly connotation. It means you are dying. Yes, we are all dying day by day, but hospice means you are dying sooner, very much sooner, rather than later. In 1990, I had a malignant melanoma removed by surgery. At the time, the doctor recommended no further treatment, just to visit a dermatologist annually for a checkup. Flash forward to December 2015, 25 years later. I had been having difficulty eating, digesting, and fighting daily fatigue. After many MD visits, various GI and blood tests, my doctor sent me to the ER, assuming my gallbladder was the problem. The ER visit was a long series of test after test, and hour after hour of doctors conferring over what seemed to be a conundrum. Finally, sometime in the middle of the night, a white-coated doctor came into the room and simply said, "You've had melanoma, right?" And I said, "Well, yes, back in 1990, but I had surgery to have it removed." The next exchange crushed me. The doctor said, "Well, I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but you have metastatic melanoma, cancer of the liver, stage 4, and you know what that means." My husband and I, both speechless, just stared at the doctor, waiting for some kind of reassurance. Like, "So, this is what we'll do to fix it." As I feared, the doctor did not say anything else except something along the lines of, "Well, you'll have to see an oncologist and discuss your options." Really? That's it? That's all you've got? I thought to myself. How could this happen when I followed the doctor's orders of annual dermatology visits, had great health in general, and did what I was supposed to do? Well, I have learned that making plans is not a good thing. You cannot depend on plans. They get changed and crushed and rearranged. Plans do not help in time of chaos. Plans give you a false sense of security, and in my case, probably sent me deeper down the rabbit hole. I no longer had a plan for the rest of my life. I had retirement planned and coming up. I had a job I really enjoyed and contributed to as an active, enthusiastic team member. I was, quote, old, but I woke up every morning wanting to go to work. I was not one of those people I knew who dreaded heading to the office. I enjoyed my job, my mentor, and I learned new things daily. If it was not a work day, I planned to be on the golf course with my friends and husband. That was not the norm amongst my friends and colleagues. I felt lucky. Lucky until that day. For approximately 18 months or so, I enjoyed the, quote, best result I could hope for, end quote, which was a minor shrinkage of the tumors and then the stabilizing of them. I still had cancer, but my life was taken up with weekly trips of blood work, immunotherapy, and miscellaneous tests. I was still the patient, day in and day out. That's all I was for 18 months, a patient. What a missed opportunity for me. I thought I was prepared to die. I was wrong. I now know I was so wrapped up in doing what needed to be done for paperwork and organization, I missed out on finding a way to make every day count. Not just for me, but for everyone who is a part of my life. I said tongue-in-cheek just the other day, there is no joy in Mudville. That's it. It's pretty simple. When you no longer seek, find, or create joy, the rabbit hole gets darker and deeper. How to go about finding joy is a perplexing puzzle that I cannot solve. I think many people can grab onto a brass ring of any kind and make that work. At best, that seems an inauthentic existence, and not one I care to pretend. I spy many pretenders who have what they consider to be, quote, my best interest at heart, end quote. They do not understand anything about me or how I will die or leave this world or even how I feel today. Focus on finding joy. What a mantra. It sounds like such bullshit. Maybe tomorrow it won't seem so elusive. A new day. Today it is still dark outside this morning as I organize my pills, personal notes, and breakfast. My weekly hospice nurse appointment is this morning, so I like to have any paperwork or questions ready for the meeting to keep it moving along. My tote file cabinet keeps my calendar, hospice paperwork, and miscellaneous other documents at my side. Any effort to help me feel some sense of control is welcome to me. It's almost like getting ready to go to the office, to a meeting, as I chuckle to myself. Oh, I wish that was what I was doing right now. After the meeting with the nurse, I'll be heading to our financial advisor's office for some help in completing additional insurance paperwork, along with a few other transactions. That seems like a somewhat normal day. It's confusing being healthy enough to have a normal day, but knowing I am under hospice care. Really, really confusing. I can almost forget sometimes that the Grim Reaper is sitting on my shoulder. Almost. But just not quite. Today, I'm heading out for a drive and lunch with my friend Mary. Another anonymously normal thing to do. Lunch and some window shopping out sounds so civilized. Wow. Into the driveway pulls a two-seater Porsche Boxster convertible sports car. My friend decided to cross off one of her bucket list items on this Saturday afternoon, and I got to ride along. It was fun. I mean, really fun. But fun is not and will not replace joy. A very important point to be careful not to confuse them. It feels weird to run errands or whatever on my own when the hospice nurse has indicated that I should have my do not resuscitate form on my person if I'm out of the house. Okay, I get it. I'm making an effort to get some exercise 2 or 3 times a week by doing a short walk around the neighborhood. So in my pocket it goes for the 35-minute trek I take. And if I'm out for a while, I take it then. Weird isn't the right word. It feels unnerving. Today was a banner day for me. I had not played a round of golf since September of 2015 in my pre-diagnosis life. Today, I played 18 holes. Yes, all 18 holes. My friend Ann and I tooled around, enjoyed the company and weather, as if it were just one of our regular Sunday games that we had played dozens of times. My game wasn't pretty, but it was about getting out and doing it, no matter what it looked like. It felt good. When can I play again? I need to temper my excitement, as it may be a short-lived resurgence of energy and ability right now. But it was such a great day. I did not feel like a patient. I was just another anonymous weekend golfer. Unbelievable. That was the last time Julie set foot on a golf course. A new week is here. The dogs, cats, and I are planning out our schedules. The dogs and cats are included, as I am literally surrounded by them. It is quiet as we wait for the sun to come up and take our walk down to fetch the papers for the day. In the last week or so, I feel like my health is starting to decline. I'm trying to be upbeat and do as much as I can, but I feel every day it is a lot more of an effort. I am sinking farther and faster down that rabbit hole that I thought I had peeked out of just weeks ago. Monday morning, and kitty therapy is in full throttle. Bess is purring up a storm and will not be denied my lap. I'm balancing the iPad on the couch arm and trying to keep her placated at the same time. She is by far the sweetest cat on earth. It had been helpful to have something planned to look forward to on the calendar these last couple of months. Right now the calendar is open, with preciously little, nothing planned. The void is overwhelming, and I cannot keep from crying. I'm so tired of crying because it doesn't make one feel better and it doesn't help. But I can't stop the tears coming at the oddest and most inopportune times. They just flow with nowhere to go. A day or two ago, I told my husband I was done cooking. Just done. I have loved cooking for most of my adult years, but the former reward I felt has evaporated. Now it just takes up time, and then you have to clean up after yourself. Life's mundane chores are taking up what precious time I have left on this earth, because it affords a modicum of control. Control is a 4-letter word, no doubt about it, but I can't seem to stop it rushing at me on a daily basis. Still having trouble with the waterworks. Just can't seem to stop tearing up over seemingly innocent comments. But it is what it is, I guess. Something inevitably will come up in conversation or just in a memory that will cause me to be so very emotional and sad that I just start crying. It is distressing to me because I am not a crier by nature. You know, one of those people that cry, quote, at the drop of the hat, end quote, as the saying goes. Even going to the dentist is difficult. When I left, they said, "Can we make your next appointment?" And the hygienist says, "No." Yep, that did it. Just that. The most recent roadblock in my head is the upcoming holiday, Thanksgiving. I guess I just don't want to miss out on the holiday. But I also don't want to make it a bummer for everyone else. My emotions are pretty raw on this as I feel boxed in. Not by anyone, but just by the expectations of what holidays are and have always been. It's difficult thinking about facing one's last holiday of any kind. It's sad, but it's more the finality of it. What do you do with those feelings? December 1st. Okay, all caps. Today is another holiday here in Durham. It's my 63rd birthday, 5 exclamation points. It will be a fun-filled day, starting with the obligatory hospice nurse visit on this Friday morning. Jan is here to help me and Evan celebrate. My birthday was really fun. It was the best one in the last several years. It was just like an avalanche of presents and fun. December 11th. This is the last week before we leave for Paris. I am a little intimidated about getting around in Paris, but I believe I can manage it if I am very careful. I will just need to rest whenever I need to and not let it get me down. I will be just so thrilled to be there. Just arose at 4:30 a.m. Ugh. There were a few embers left in the wood stove, so I rekindled the fire from last night. It's so cozy and pretty. Well, the animals are less than impressed, and each are cuddled into a different piece of furniture or corner of a rug. December 30th. I will say that it was worth it to get to go to France, even though it was a quick trip, but it was such fun. I really wasn't sure if I'd be able to get through it with my energy level and illness. But I think we did the best job we could have, trying to manage seeing some highlights and then adding in a few extra things that we wanted to see. Now I'm wondering if I should try to visit Jill one more time. If so, do it on my own. Give Evan some peace and quiet he deserves. Something to ponder. My heart aches beyond anything I can stand. Really. It's not easy being in a place where we are so alone and yet we are so connected. I know Evan feels complete responsibility for me and my care, but right now I'm relatively independent. And so it's an odd combination. How much do I do for myself, and how much does he do for me, while trying to keep himself sane, and me as sane as I can be right now? Being a couple is a master class in putting yourself first to buoy, support your partner. You cannot have a true partnership without making that commitment. Then the trickle-down effect should kick in so you are both supported with life jackets, come hell or high water. It may not be pretty, but you are together. Is it the otter couples that hold hands as they sleep so they won't drift apart? That fits here to me somehow. Hold on. Together. Today, I have a short amount of time left in this life. That is a hard thing to face every day. Every day should count no matter your situation. But the days easily slip one into the next without notice for most people. Is there a way to make every day count at this juncture for me? Well, certainly, but what is the methodology? Is there such a thing at this time? I wake early most mornings and write my thoughts here. Most mornings I cry while I do it. I can't seem to stop the tears in the mornings when I am alone. It seems ridiculous to me to sit and cry every morning. But maybe it helps get me on track for the day to be thankful. I am thankful for every day. and wish I could make every day special for those around me. However, everyone is responsible for making their own joy and happiness. You cannot be responsible for anyone else's joy. That is a hard lesson to learn and live by.